Hi everyone, this is Spooky and welcome back to another video. I want to discuss a useful tactic that I've been finding in low tiers of competitive shooters, and that's the use of high ground. This advice is primarily based around Overwatch, but also carries over to different shooters such as Counter-Strike Go and Battlefield to varying extents. Now we all know what high ground is, it's right in the name, however a lot of newer players don't really know how to use it or realize how important a positioning tool it is for both attacking and defending sections of a map. So let's put this down in a diagram and I'll break up a couple of different scenarios with examples from a real game map.
I'd run in, throw a health point down, and just use it.
I just threw my health point down. It'll be back in time though. I just don't get hit by these rockets.
I'd use it now.
I've got you in my sights.
Nice!
Nicely done.
That carry. That was great.
Taking and holding high ground in shooters is important because it enforces your control over the surrounding areas while limiting the amount of cover provided to your opponents. This can even force them to take less optimal positions against your teammates in a lot of situations. In this diagram we can see a pair of soldiers against each other. However, one is situated on high ground without cover and the other has a small amount of cover on the low ground. I've just added these viewing lines to illustrate what the higher soldier can see. Notice that the lower soldier's cover is made almost completely useless. However, when reversing the perspective, we can see that the higher soldier can always move back when taking damage. The only way the enemy soldier could attempt to keep up damage is by actually stepping back or alternatively traveling to you. Very few characters have ways of traveling vertically up. Retreating into the high ground is a safe option to heal or reposition. It's going to take a lot longer for your enemy to reach you, and in certain situations, like in Hollywood side buildings, it can take up valuable DPS away from the objective, just as a way to deal with you. Now, talking about the specific advantages in Overwatch that come with a high ground include Roadhog's hooks being harder to land and breaking more easily if they do, projectiles like Junkrat bombs having incredible difficulty landing targets accurately. The raw distance of your position leaves little fear of Reaper, Mei, Symmetra, Zarya, and absolutely zero fear of Reinhardt's attacks aside from Fire Strike. Now defenders with sense would primarily set up on the rooftop here. This leaves the attackers three options. First, they can ignore the setup on the roof and attack the point directly by moving right and accessing the stairs near the point to then attack the defenders. Now to break this down, this option is incredibly risky and doesn't provide much reward. The coordination on your team would have to be perfect to stop units from being picked off from the higher positions. You'd have to be completely on board with flankers or potential setups on the other areas of the map. And on top of that, if you do lose units, the entire push can quickly become a 5 or 4v6 while the opponents fire at you from the rooftop and go down to contest the point. Another option is that you could take your team down the alley. This will give the defenders on the roof absolutely zero visibility of you and force them to either wait there doing nothing until you arrive on the point, move to the point to preemptively stop you, or jump down and head down the alley themselves to try and flank you. This is a good tactic if you're using a lot of close range damage dealers like Tracer, Reaper, Symmetra, Reinhardt, or Zarya. But the best tactic is possibly this next one. The attackers could instead move up the stairs to the left and rout out the defenders from the roof, taking the battle to the point and keeping the DPSs on the high ground while the point is being taken. This is generally a good idea, particularly if you use a Reinhardt or a Lucio's speed boost, preferably both though. You can get up to the point before Reinhardt's shield takes too much damage, force them off a point, and then use the high ground advantage for yourselves, picking them off in the mid-fight on the point. Hopefully this is a good example, but we'll also quickly talk about some specific character roles while both defending on and attacking the high ground. Genji can deal damage from range just by utilizing his double jump, climbing up walls, and can strike from different angles using his dash to either escape damage or confirm kills before dashing away again. While defending, Genji's role is much the same, contributing damage to build his ult until he also has the ability to dive an enemy when noticing that someone's on low health to confirm a kill. McCree, Reaper, and Soldier can't do much while attacking high ground, but can join as part of pushes and contribute quite a bit when pushing up to the high ground behind a Reinhardt shield. Their roles when attacking from high ground are pretty self-explanatory, along with a lot of other characters, so I will be leaving them out if I feel they don't do anything that isn't immediately obvious. Pharah has the ability to fire down on defenders and force them to pay attention to her. Her concussive blast can knock people down and weaken the defenders' positions. While defending, Pharah shouldn't be utilizing the high ground at all unless waiting for her jump jets to recharge. Mei can make a reasonable distraction by either using her ice wall to travel up to the point, or placing it on the ledge in front of defenders, limiting their damage. D.Va has the ability to fly up to the high ground and disrupt damage coming from the defenders with her defense matrix. Her damage is quite significant and can't be ignored when targeting defending supports. This forces them to turn around and pay attention to her, giving you guys the ability to either push the point or push the high ground. Roadhog's hook changes make him a very good unit when situated on the high ground. He is able to hook and get consistent kills on units while reaching over cover. He can fall back to heal, and can jump onto the point if a push does go through and contest. Winston's ability to dive the defender's positions and deal 60 damage per second to any unit in front of him from behind his bubble makes him a great distraction tool to initiate a push either for the point or directly to target the high ground. Ana is best situated away from the direct action to avoid her dying in pushes. There are ideal spots directly across from the high ground in Hollywood and Numbani where she can heal her allies while also sleeping and grenading anyone who needs it. Lucio is a great pushing unit due to his speed boost, his sonic blast being able to push people directly off ledges of the high ground, essentially eliminating them from the fight until they can regroup and come back up the stairs. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you found this content useful. We'll be going on to talk about some other gameplay aspects, as well as talking about team comps and specific guides to units that I feel aren't being covered properly. I'll be looking to make a Lucio guide coming around this time next week. We'll also have more coverage of live esports events in Sydney coming out by March 6th. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please leave any feedback down in the comments section. If you did like the video, please like and subscribe. It would help the channel out a great deal. And most of all, have fun, don't get salty.